I wanted to record this because I am laying in my bed. So I know this is probably going to be an atypical form if this is heard out in the ether. But I have traveled all day from Tulum back home. I'm now in my bed in Minneapolis. I've just spent the last few days with 7 other friends and traveling, and even on the way home, chatting it up with a very cool crew, Minneapolis based. Some of the crew I knew, but I just wanted to, I guess, commemorate the moment that was Tulum, that was this experience with these people. That was such a great time. That was a genuine time. I don't know. I've been, telling a few friends that I've just been very humbled by the experience. Just to see how other people live. And this is different from when I went to Amsterdam in October, because Europe is a lot different from Mexico. Europe's a lot older than the US, and architecture is different. Just the way of life is different in Europe. But I think to go to a country that's more impoverished, and I saw kids like younger than my nephews and niece, like in the 7-Eleven sweeping up the floors, and holding the door open for people, and, kind of hope, I don't know. It really got me. All the dogs, I wanted to save all the dogs there, all the stray dogs that just kind of walk in the street. It's funny because dogs there in Tulum, don't care. They're used to loud noises. They're used to strangers. They're used to walking around on the streets. The dogs here, I feel like dogs here are so, scared. They're so, any loud noise, or a car comes by, or, I don't know. I feel like dogs here are so sensitive. Seeing a dog, just a stray dog in the middle of the street, just looking at you, it was so sad. It was so cute. It was so cute. But yeah, I felt like I just wanted to take the time to get it out right now, because I know as time progresses, I'm going to get further and further away from this moment, this experience, having felt refreshed in a way, being around people for the last few days, last 3-4 days. And I don't feel exhausted. I do, I'm tired. I'm literally laying in a dark room right now. I am horizontal in a dark room, because I need a moment, obviously. So I'm not going to lie, but I just thoroughly enjoyed it, in incredibly different people, but the temperature never got too hot. You know what I'm saying? Even if the temperature was rising, in a moment, it never got too hot, even with 8 cooks in the kitchen. And I feel like that's really says a lot about everyone who was involved, because it's not easy. And we had some really fun moments and some really great moments. And I think everyone was just able to do what they wanted to do. I think Jay is such a good leader in that way, that we're on a vacation. Everybody does not have to do the same thing. So if some people want to hang out at the house and sunbathe and, graze while they're on a floaty in the pool, they can do that. If they want to go nap, they can. If they want to, whatever, you know what I mean? And if you want to go out and explore and go to beach clubs, and I don't know, it was cool. It was really, really cool. Um, Amsterdam was humbling in a completely different way. Being in a space that's like a melting pot, like a global melting pot, if you will. And Tulum is like that too. Tulum is different, completely different in a lot of ways. But Amsterdam, one, has the third largest airport in Europe. Um, I just heard so many different languages and so many different countries represented. It was just a delightful time. But you didn't really see a lot of homeless people. There was really no one overweight there. Yeah, I don't know. But Mexico, I think that Tulum, I really enjoyed the way that we did it, because we did it kind of off the beaten path. Flying to Cancun, sojourn to another place, like drive an hour and a half to get to the place that we're supposed to be. There's a lot of hotels and resorts, and I mean the Waldorf Astoria and some of those other, like, along the way from Cancun to Tulum. There are so many of these huge, gorgeous resorts. Like, the scaling, because it's just, all this shit is just forest. It's just underdeveloped. So you go out there and you buy acres of land, you know what I'm saying? And build this huge compound. But the way that it, like, some of these entrances open up, because you're just on the road on this beaten highway, and then you see like glass and water features and stone, and I mean these are like 30-foot with arches with palm. I literally saw one that had 2 palm trees suspended in the air by a stone, like a marble structure, and they were kind of in an X formation. One was leaning to one side and the other was leaning to the other. So I could see the roots and everything on the palm trees. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? It was incredible. It was incredible just to see. But I think that one of my favorite things about trips in general is when it's like a multi-leg thing. I feel like when you are sojourning, traveling, and there's, I don't know. It kind of reminds me, what I'm thinking of is my 2020 trip to Colorado. And when me and my friends went snowboarding, and that one was like starting in Hattiesburg, driving an hour and a half to New Orleans, from a flight from New Orleans to Denver, waiting to pick up a rental car, then driving from there 6 hours to get to our house. Like a multi-leg kind of, just, it's a thing. There's a group of people, and we're going to someplace that feels somewhat remote from where we are. So, circling back, I say all that to say that we did it, I think, the right way, the very cool way. Having a house, enough space, kind of off this beaten street. But the more you walk, there's bars and restaurants and this and that. Like I said, we ran into a 7-Eleven, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Where our house was, it wasn't on any main road, so the roads were terrible. If you look in the video that I posted from my story on Instagram, like, the roads were bad. They were bad, and when it rained, there were huge puddles. Like, we went back and forth to a hookah spot literally every night and got food on those ATVs, and we never wore it. That's another thing too. Like, we didn't wear anything cute. We didn't bring any, like, I mean, no one looked ugly, but we literally went on vacation to chill. No one was concerned about, like, how they really looked, Instagrammable outfits, like this and that. Like, we got kind of gritty. It was kind of gritty and a little dirty, if I were to say it like that. And I think that helped, like, the earthiness, the groundedness of the trip, at least for me. I don't know. I just wanted to get all of that out. I'm just incredibly grateful to be able to be in fellowship with other human beings and to build and bond and enjoy and feel safe which I felt safe every time I've left the country. I was talking about being safe around other human beings, but I mean, I guess this also includes that, but Europe and Mexico, this is my second time in Mexico, but both these times I've left the country in the last 6 months, I have felt way more safe in those countries than I have in the US on my own street where I live. So, yeah, there's that. There's fucking that. Anyway, y'all, I love you. This is goodbye for right now. There's always more. There's always more ahead.